What's everyone? Vlog for today. I hope you're all well. Thanks for everyone's messages. Really appreciate it. We're nearly there. Next Saturday, 22nd, 50 Man KUMITE. Can't wait. Super excited. But there's one person I wanted people to start to recognise a little bit more, and I'm appreciative of Ben from Combat Strength.
Thanks, mate.
Making sure I get it right. I've been training with Ben, and Alila and I have been doing weekly sessions over about 8 weeks now. And what it's done for me has been fantastic to separate myself from worrying about setting a program and guessing, and when I've got someone like this. So Ben, nice to have you on as a bit of a vlog.
Yes, mate.
We're going to get Ben in more detail on an actual podcast when I start to crank up the Kyokushin Shuffle after the 50 Man KUMITE. I'll be putting back out more content, but in the meantime, I wanted Ben to just share a little bit of about three to 5 minutes, Ben, of just explaining bits and pieces of how you are training combat fighters.
Yep.
And then separating yourself from what you've been doing with them, with me.
Yeah. So basically, you've been training combat fighters for full time for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
So I've got predominantly Muay Thai fighters we work with and amateur level boxers, and then yourself, of course.
Yeah.
So what we primarily focus on, like first phase, is looking at making sure people have the robustness in their body, the strength and the endurance to actually be able to perform a camp and get into the ring.
Yeah.
Or whatever they're performing at.
Yeah.
Is the biggest one. Second one is then building on the strength and making it usable.
Yeah.
So building speed into it, making sure they can repeat that strength rather than just being a one-hit wonder, and making sure that once again they stay safe and building their fitness up. So earlier in the camp we focus on just general fitness, aerobic capacity, how low your resting heart rate is, making sure you've got the ability to recover, which in the 50 Man KUMITE is going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And then we've got looking at more higher end stuff. So like how well you can sprint using different energy systems,
Yeah.
glycogen, phosphate, all that stuff.
So that's awesome. That's exactly what I wanted him to share, because they're all things that I don't need to worry. I didn't need to worry about as such. And worry meaning, yes, this is a serious event, an assignment at hand. Again, the equivalent, the 100 Man KUMITE is the beast. But I'm taking this as serious as I can. Father of 3, husband, full-time worker, dojo operator, and to have Ben facilitate and use that language that I'm just not privy to and not educated in, and the other side of it was that I was sharing with you every time we had a break was, for 22 years of doing the arts, we've done it hard, we've trained hard, we've got that mentality, no problem. But now there's a massive science attached to it, isn't there?
There is, yeah, and particularly in the last 5 to 10 years, it's actually become its own little industry within fitness, and there are people that are specialising in it.
Yeah. So Ben's going to go in a bit more detail. As you can see already, he's just sharing a workload of potentially like an 8-week program.
Yeah.
But what we will deep dive more into is how he does the Muay Thai fighters. How he does combat boxing. The boxing side of it, and then a lad like me, just a dude trying to do a 2.5 marathon, being punched and kicked. And so from here on, we've got this is probably our last session. To explain what we just did today, just so that some of them can understand. So I'm 10 days out, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, so basically this is our last kind of like real heavy sort of like what we call a peaking phase. So we started off with a little bit of lactic conditioning on the ski erg. From there we did a little bit of,
bad boy.
Yeah, that's the one. Sprint intervals on the assault bike or wind bike if you've seen it, so that's arms and legs.
Yeah.
So sitting down allows us to keep a high output compared to what we just had standing, so we can keep a really high intensity without the body needing to organise itself as well.
Yeah.
Then from there, went and did some heavy lifts.
Yeah.
So Pat was basically bench pressing his body weight for 3 to 5 repetitions, and then from there, 1 minute rest over to explosive deadlifts for speed. Alila was doing the same. And then we finished off with a little bit of more sort of endurance. So being the 50 Man KUMITE is different to fighting 9 minutes.
Yeah.
We finished off with sled push for 1 minute, farmers carries for 1 minute, 1 minute rest, 2 rounds, mainly just to make you dig deep. We can get to that point where you need to hold your position at the end of that 50 Man KUMITE and the hands.
Perfect. I can't wait for more of you guys and girls to utilise Ben. He's got his business. Ben, where can they just ask questions? Because I can't wait to talk more about it.
Yep.
Now that we've got a relationship, and with Alila pointing us to each other, and thank you, Alila, for that, because I naively was just going to go about my business as I do, but thanks to Ben, it was a weight off my shoulders to worry about, and securely in sales we call it trusted advisor. Any questions, any inquiries, how you're feeling, all those things separate from your shian or your sensei asking you, very important to have that separate as well. So Ben, where can some of the people that are probably interested. So you're in Melbourne, but we're in Geelong as well. So you've got a Melbourne base. So explain that. And then,
so Melbourne, I'm in Airport West Thursdays and Saturdays.
Yeah.
And then I'm down in Geelong for the rest of the week. Basically, if you want to get in touch, info@combatstrength.net is the email.
Cool.
Or alternatively, Instagram is combat.strength. Send me a private message, whatever you want to do. I'll get back to everyone.
Fantastic. Thanks, everyone. That's our vlog for this week. I'll give you one over the weekend. All going well. Thanks for everyone's support. Big wish to you all. Cheers, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for the
Appreciate
workout.
it.
Thanks, mate. Us. See ya.